are live, and I'm going to mix it up today. And I'm actually going live to Vet Tribe. For those of you who don't know me, Vet Tribe, I am Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. I've been in this group since its beginning, one of the original 20. I'm the social media coordinator, and I spend a good amount of time helping people with PR and business visibility strategies. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways to get your business on TV. We'll talk about the advantages of it, very simple things that have worked out quite well, and then how to maximize the speed at which. All right. So going out live to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Vet Tribe today. Awesome. Got John Rankin, Mike Camarina. What's going on, guys? All right. Before we get started, my content, as always, is brought to you by Shift Magazine. Bam. You can read it for free at shiftlifedesign.com. All kinds of stories about business and entrepreneurship and mindset and developing the life of your dreams. Glad that John Rankin's watching. Part of the life of your dreams is going on vacation. If you're a veteran, you need to reach out to John Rankin. I will absolutely give him a shout out. He's tremendously good at what he can do. Complimentary vacations to the Bahamas, discounts on hotels and airfare. Highly recommend. I've heard nothing but good things about him. All right. Everyone out there should be trying to get their business on TV. And it's not nearly as difficult as people think. I've gotten 39 clients on TV since I've been doing what I do. And it's not like it's some magical thing that only affects, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to be a multimillionaire to get on TV. And in fact, the more obscure or unusual your story is, or your business story is, the better. And I'll share as I go through this. I'll try not to keep you guys too long, but as I go through this, I'll share some of the angles that got my clients on TV. Right, Chris Drake? Now, the next question people ask me is, Rob, why should I care? Why do I want to be on TV? What will it do for my company? Is it really that effective? Yes. Getting on TV should be the #1 priority for your business. And there's several reasons for it. If you guys got questions, feel free to pop them up. And if I see them, I'll answer them during the live. If not, I'll come back and check them out. There are several reasons that TV should be a really big priority for your company, no matter what you do. And even if you have a small business and it's not 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever, get on TV anyway. And trust me, it's very possible. It's not like there's gatekeepers that keep you from getting on TV just because of your income level. No one's ever asked me for an income stub. And I've been on TV plenty of times. Okay. So right away, when you get on TV, a couple things happen. You're going to get significantly increased traffic to your website, which is great. So you'll actually be able to see the bump if you do your analytics, which everyone should do. You'll be able to flash your URL or website or social media on the segment. And then you can recycle and turn it into social media. So once your interview is up, what I usually do is I cut out screenshots or I download the actual video and I use it for social media for the client. It's very effective and it provides proof of concept. And then here's the cool part. You can actually snag their logo and then use it for as featured on for your business. So when I work for somebody and I get them on some news station, like I got Sean Cannon on NBC, so now he can grab the NBC logo and pop it on there, along with the TMZ website, because we got him on TMZ as well. But there's a lot of advantages. So now you've got really good content for your social media. You've got proof of concept for your business. You've got your ads featured on, and you've got to broadcast to thousands of people, if not tens of thousands of people. Now, here's what's really crazy. Sometimes the big networks will actually run what the small networks run. And let me explain this. So if I got John Rankin on his local ABC affiliate, once in a while, big ABC will run it on their main, wherever ABC headquarters is in New York or wherever. And then all of a sudden his views go way through the roof. And then other news agencies want to know more about it. And this happened with Abby Barretto. She had a documentary about her father, who was a Marine helicopter pilot who lost his life in the 70s. And then somebody found his ring in Norway and returned it to her. But she had this amazing documentary called The Ring in the Mountain, right? So I got Abby on the news, and Stripes.com picked it up. And when I saw that, I was shocked. Abby just reached out. She's like, have you ever heard of this site, this Stripes.com? They ran my story. And I looked it up, and I was in like shock and amazement, because if you guys don't know Stripes, it's the newspaper, like Stars and Stripes, that's on every base on Earth every day. I think Stripes is weekly, but it's got millions of audience members. So it was a big deal when Abby got it picked up. She's still getting like interview requests and all kinds of stuff. And that was, the funniest part is that I've actually reached out to Stripes on behalf of some of my clients, like deliberately, and I've gotten nothing. And then because I got her on TV for a different station, somebody jacked the story and then featured her, which was cool. And then a bunch of other people picked it up, and she actually got shown in Annapolis. It was a really wild chain of events, but it started with TV. And so it's important that you guys adopt the attitude that no station is too small for your business. I mean, even if you've got like an independent or a KPBS or, something, if they offer you airtime or an interview, take it. Take it. Trust me. So anyway, those are some of the things that have happened. Here are some things you can do in order to increase your chances of getting on TV. First of all, no matter where you live, there's the big four. There's ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and they're what we call affiliates. An affiliate is a small news station that is licensed under the big name, like Big Fox, and then they're just like a subset of the bigger logo. Okay, so you can apply to all four at the same time. I do this quite often, and just see who bites. And once in a while, someone will get back to you. Here are some of the things that you can do for ideas, okay? Because nobody ever really knows. Like, from what I've read, 90% of pitches are terrible. They're not formatted right. It's more like, hey, put me on TV, I have a business, or just some stupid shit, or it's really like poorly spelled, all kinds of stuff. So it's important that you figure out your angle and you understand what a reporter is looking for. So some of the things that are out there, no matter how much money you have, you can always do a fundraiser. So if you fundraise for a community project or a veterans home or seniors or, orphans, whatever, fundraisers greatly increase your chance of getting on the news. Even if you only fundraise like $500, if you have a GoFundMe page or a fundraiser, you can package that up into a good media story and then pitch it to your local media stations. Number two would be a nonprofit. Aligning with a good nonprofit will definitely help you, and it makes for very, very good storylines. And so if your business, no matter what your business is, partners up with a certain nonprofit, and I partner up with a bunch of them. I'm actually on the board for Warriors of the Wind, which uses motorcycles to help veterans of PTSD. I mean, what a great cause. Dallas Poor is a former Marine captain, great dude. But I'm on their board, and I've gotten Dallas on TV numerous times. Reporters love nonprofits, and Dallas showed up on a motorcycle in a teddy bear suit to visit kids in the hospital, up in the Lemoore, California. And two news stations showed up to cover it at the same time. Thought there was going to be a fight in the parking lot. It was like some Anchorman shit. But the point is, pair up with a nonprofit, and there's plenty of them. Trust me, you'll find some in Vet Tribe. Right, Kevin? But there's, the ones I endorse personally are Warriors of the Wind. Big Country, I think, is working on his. If you don't know, Brian Conwell. And then VetCom is about to release their own nonprofit as well. So there are some good ones out there. Just make sure you find one that's reputable. Make sure you find one that has a cool cause that that you approve of. Talk to the owner. Be sure to know what they're talking about, because for every one good nonprofit, there's five bad ones out there. All right, veteran status. Believe it or not, just being a veteran increases your chances of getting on the news quite a bit. I would say 30-40%. Just being able to say veteran-owned business. And I know some of you are looking at me like, that cannot be true, Rob. Does being a veteran still have weight? Yes. Especially if you can tie in how your service somehow relates to your business. If you can tie in how your time in the Marines helped make you, disciplined and helped you to run a business with an iron fist and a lot of push-ups, screaming at interns, whatever. Or your time in the Air Force as a nerdy cyber officer, helped you to learn the tech skills to start your own, cyber consulting firm, whatever. Tying veteran status. Hey, the owner's a veteran. And talking about your service a little bit. You don't have to talk about, you saw some crazy stuff overseas, but the stuff you feel comfortable talking about. Veteran status is a big deal. Doug Barry's watching this. He's the author of the Jasper and Friends children's books. We've gotten Doug on TV like 4 times, and it's always because Doug's an Air Force vet. He's very involved in the East Coast and the Shaw community. I've met Doug in person. Great guy, but they keep bringing him on TV, and the vet status definitely helps. So vet status, big deal. If you can mention it in your pitch. If you can tie it into your angle, even better. All right. Next is subject matter expert. This is a big one. So there's a lot of current events going on, whatever. If you can somehow position yourself as a subject matter expert, let's say you've written a book on a topic, or you got a blog about a topic, or you're an outspoken speaker, or a firebrand, or the fuck that means. If you can be a subject matter expert on a particular topic, you're going to be asked to be interviewed. You're going to be brought in. You're going to be treated as the person to go to. I've watched it time and time again. Kate Monroe, CEO of VetCom, who I did a lot of consulting with. She was an Intel Marine, enlisted Intel Marine specialist, and they bring her on as a subject matter expert for the Middle East, for politics, for all kinds of stuff, because she's got very developed viewpoints. She's got like stats behind her, and she's a very articulate and great speaker. That's an example of being a good subject matter expert. Subject matter experts sometimes have polarizing opinions. For whatever reason, Fox News loves bringing on people that sound insane, that have polarizing opinions that piss people off. I mean, it's the nature of their network. And you don't have to be polarizing, but you can have controversial opinions. You can have a viewpoint that doesn't match, the society's narrative. And, just tread lightly. It's up to you. I mean, if that's whatever you're going to take public, you will reap the results of it. I'm just saying. I usually steer clear of like politics, religion, all that stuff, sports. So just be careful when you're advertising your subject matter status. People get pissy about some of this stuff. All right. And then last is life experience. So if you have a crazy life experience, good or bad, I've gotten people on TV from pitching their life experience. And a really memorable one was my friend Sandra, who was an IFBB fitness professional. She's in her, I want to say her 60s, and she was almost taken in a Bitcoin scam. These people were pretending to be the sheriff, and the newscaster, I think it was Liberty Zabala. Thank you, Liberty, by the way. She ran a story on elder scams from the consumer protection angle. And they got Sandra on TV. They interviewed her. Sandra performed amazingly, just talked about how this happened and how like she got this notice for a phone call from the sheriff's department, and they wanted her to go to a Bitcoin machine somewhere and fucking pay her fine in Bitcoin. Whole thing was shady, and she lost a little bit of money, but they were trying to take her for thousands. But they popped that on. Consumer protection stories are really wild, and that was a crazy life experience. And I personally can attest to the power of a good life experience story. My own life experience got me 255 interviews. And if you Google Rob the Warrior Strategist, I will show up, and I'm still being interviewed for it. And it wasn't, it was cool, but it's shocking how many times I've been interviewed about the same thing. And it's just, growing up poor, immensely poor, and going from high school and college dropout to PhD. And for some reason, everybody loves interviewing me about it, talking about, struggles and life and achievement and how I went on to do all these awesome things. Not complaining, but it's definitely the power of a good life experience that has been carefully documented and, presented in a meaningful way. So these are some of the ways that veterans and entrepreneurs can get their business on TV. It's not nearly as hard as you would think. It is a great asset, a great positioning tool, a great marketing tool, because you're going to get people buying from you immediately and checking out your website. And then you'll also be able to recycle it and have some great social media. So I'll leave you guys with a final tip that I taught Doug Barry, and this is what got him on TV 4 times. This is how he did it. If you just look up the 4 stations in your area, and I do this for my clients all the time. If you look up all the stations in your area and then you Google them and the word contact or the word submit, there's your ability to pitch them. And this is public knowledge. You don't have to be a PR expert like me. You don't have to have any special qualifications. You just have to send them your pitch, send them a photo, send them some contact info, and monitor your emails. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes you will get people reaching out. This is how I got 39 clients on TV. So anyway, that's all I got. I want to thank everybody in Vet Tribe, Mike and John and Chris and Doug and Kevin for checking this out. If you guys ever have questions about getting on TV or PR or visibility, whatever, feel free to reach out to me. I love talking about this stuff. I love helping out tribe members to become famous industry level celebrities. And my inbox is always open. I'll talk to you guys later, Vet Tribe. And as always, stay famous. All right. And for the main broadcast, what's going on, guys? Good to see you. It has been a spectacular day. And what's really interesting is that I'm still on my little fitness journey. I weighed myself today, and I weighed in with an 8-pound loss since I've started. I've been doing this deliberately and consciously, I think, for 2 weeks. I'm going to hit my weight goal next week, and I'm pretty excited about it. I have an Air Force PT test, but that's not the only reason I'm exercising more. It's honestly, like, when you get to a certain point and your clothes just aren't fitting correctly, or you lose like the ability to wear a third of your wardrobe just because you got a little bigger in some areas, it's time to show some discipline. And I've been trying to get to 230 probably since my mom died, and that was 2018. So you can see how long it's been. It's been a journey. I've been in that 2 weeks, and how I've kept the weight off. I've actually increased the amount that I've been eating, and I've been only focused on low-calorie foods. And I calculate how many calories I'm taking in. I calculate how much exercise I've done. ChatGPT does the whole thing for me. I pop in my meals, my exercise for the day, and then it'll actually kick out how many calories I'm supposed to be eating daily, what my caloric deficit is, and what I should be weighing in as. And today I weighed in like 3 pounds under. It's probably water weight, but I've also been doing a good amount of cardio, stepped it up. Today was brutal. Today was the gym for 30 minutes, lifting weights, and then going to Lake Murray midday and running for 60 minutes. And it sucked. It was miserable, but absolutely worth it. I'm really happy. Like I weighed myself and the number was a lot lower than I expected, which is cool. You know, obviously that's the first water weight burn. I'm just eating a lot less. I'm not craving food as much because my stomach shrunk clearly. So I get full after like 3 bites. What's up, Rich? Good to see you, buddy. We're just I just got done broadcasting about how to get on TV, and now I'm just talking about the fitness journey. But the diet is so important. And so I've really cut down on meat. I'm having a lot of fake crab. It's a fish called pollock. And I'm having tuna and chicken. People don't realize it, but beef has a lot of fucking calories. And I used to be a really big beef eater, and I like salty, you know, seared beef. And I've had a little bit of hamburger, but other than that, like I haven't had steak in a while. I haven't had like you know, chuck roast, anything like that. The majority of what I eat is sauerkraut, spinach, cucumbers, pickles, going real big in the fermented stuff, and about 15 blueberries. And I'm eating about 2 or 3 meals a day. I calculate, you know, whatever my amount is. I'm staying around 1,000 calories a day, and I'm burning anywhere between 3 and 3,500, maybe 4,000 if I'm really running a lot. So it's just a slow burn. You know, I'm not trying to lose this overnight. But overall, it's been working. I'm never hungry. My mood hasn't been changing too much, and it hasn't affected my sleep too much. So that's good. These are all things you look out for when you're, you know, changing your fitness routine, your dieting, all that stuff. My Air Force PT test is in about 9 days, and it's going to be fine. As you guys know, I got an injury on Monday from doing sit-ups. I did about 30 of them, and I was just going really fast. And I feel like I sprained an abdominal muscle, and my stomach started filling up with fluid or gas. Like I could feel it swelling up in my lower abdomen, and I got freaked out. I thought I burst my appendix or had a hernia, and I got checked out by the doctor, and I was okay. But it was terrifying. I gave it like 2 days of just light activity around the house, no real exercise. And then today I returned with a triumphant run. But yeah, it's been mellow. I've just talked to my business advisor a lot, working on Garcia Global Media, and just working on improvements. And I highly encourage you guys, if you're trying to get in better shape, seriously, mess with the diet. Get on ChatGPT, have it kick you out a plan. I can't believe I'm 5 pounds away from my goal. I'm so close, honestly. Like 2 more runs and I'll be there. And I've been fighting this for like 7 years. And what's cool is actually I have rewards. So once I hit 230, I'm going to allow myself to wear my blue Oliver Peoples glasses and my Belova Marine Star watch that my buddy got me, and an Air Force Academy hat. I had all 3 of these items, and I promised myself I wouldn't allow myself to wear them unless I hit my goal weight. And it's been a while. So if you see me with blue round tortoiseshell Oliver Peoples glasses and a nice Belova Marine Star, you know Garcia hit 230. The closest I've ever gotten has been 232. And then I just veered off. As far as like booze and stuff, I've really cut it down. Once again, goes to calorie counting. It hit me the other day, like a dark beer is 240 calories. Holy shit. And you have to ask yourself, where do you want your calories to come from? So if you're cutting down calories from food, you can have a beer, you can have a drink, you can have a Michelob, something, but just having a daily calorie count has been interesting, and just eating to it. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It's kind of a demented plan, but I'm having a good time with it. Vodka soda is like 90 calories with a lime in it, and pretty satisfying. So just been doing that. And before I wrap up tonight, I did want to give a shout out to Mike Dolbo. Thank you, Mike Dolbo, for sending me this. This is cool. This is one of those flip up Iron Man masks, and it talks, does all kinds of stuff. And Mike didn't realize that I had one of these for past Halloween, but mine was silver. So now I look like a real lunatic because I have a silver one and a gold one. And super grateful. Thank you, Mike. Very considerate of you. Very generous. So great job on that one. All right. So that's about everything that's been going on. We're just working on Garcia Global Media. As I get a little further along, I'm going to be announcing a book writing workshop. For those of you that want to be authors and want to learn how to self-publish, keep all your royalties, keep all your IP, I'm going to be offering a 2.5-hour workshop in November, teaching you the art of self-publishing, the website to use, how to finish your book, how to select a cover, how to get a press release for it. The workshop's going to be exciting because everybody that signs up for it, their book, once it's done, it's going to be featured in Shift Magazine. They're going to have a press release issued for it, and they're going to get a copy of my 24-hour author book sent to them so they can learn with me about how to publish in 24-hour time blocks. So you can literally finish your book in 24 hours. And I'm not saying to do it concurrently. You'll lose your mind. But you take 24 hours and just chunk it out over time, and you can have your book done. This did not take very long, less than a day, and teaches you quite a bit. So anyway, if you want to get your book published and you want help with it, you want to work with me, a 15-time author who has mastered the process, ask me about the workshop. It's going to be, I think it's $947, and you're going to get a whole bunch of goodies as well as a press release, private one-on-one with me for an hour to talk about your book, the group workshop itself, copy of One Day Author. But more to follow on that. But there's going to be a big push for it. We're going to be taking out ads, and I'm going to be creating 12 authors every month. I'm really excited about it. All right. That is about everything I've got for now. I want to thank you guys. This was a little bit more of a just catching up with Rob broadcasts as well as the TV stuff. But if you ever have any questions about getting on TV, or you need PR or any type of visibility stuff, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. As always, stay famous. See you guys next time.